I hope you are fine today.
Good morning, Mister.
Morning to you. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about compare and contrast essay. When you are comparing and contrasting two options, 2 points, two objects, which you are trying to do in this essay. Fine. When we are comparing, actually, we are getting the similarities between the two objects. But when we are contrasting, so we are getting the differences. Is it clear now what we are doing in compare and contrast essay? With the examples, inshallah, we're going to get the point well. So let's move to the next slide. Here I've got two types of plants. Algae, maybe I'm not sure about this. Um, Here, if we are comparing two plants, so we are telling the similarities. How are these similar or alike? Got my point? Okay, right now you know what a comparison is.
They are both
Yes.
flowers.
Yes, that's right. Both are plants, but
Yeah.
both have flowers. That's right.
And
Both are beautiful, actually.
both live in the forest like this, maybe.
Yes, that's right. Fine. I'm just giving a hint that's okay. When we're writing down, so we're going to brainstorming, but um, at the beginning, I'm just telling you what a comparison is and what a contrast is. So let's move to the other slide for contrast between two animals. Contrasting here, showing how are these different, penguin and koala. So if you are going to tell me some differences about these two kinds of animals, will you?
Penguins live in Antarctica,
Yes.
and the koala in the forest. I don't know which forest.
Okay. It lives in Australia. Fine. This one lives in Antarctica, but this the koala lives in Australia. Fine. What else can we say about the differences between both? Penguin is a bird, but the koala is an animal. It's a mammal. So they are different categories. They are over different categories. What else can you say about the differences? They're different in the shape. They're different in their skin. They're different in type of living. Uh, the vegetation. I mean the food they eat. Mhm. All right. Now we are getting the differences, which means this is the contrast. Compare and contrast is a well, actually, the thesis statement is so important while writing an essay. It's not just in the compare and contrast. Any essay should have a thesis statement. And actually, the thesis statement summarizes the main point or claim of an essay. It's supposed to be the last sentence in the first paragraph. You know very well that the first paragraph is always an introduction. So the last sentence or the sentence before the last one should be the thesis statement. In this thesis statement, we are summarizing the main point or the claim of the essay. So it's so important, like or maybe it's more important than the topic sentence, which introduces the essay. When you write a comparison or contrast essay, your opinion about the two elements in question becomes your thesis statement. Your opinion, don't forget this. It's gonna be the thesis. When you write a comparison and or contrast essay, your opinion about the two elements in question becomes your thesis statement. Sample thesis statements. When this restaurant's spicy chicken sandwich is preferable to Chick-fil restaurant's spicy chicken sandwich. It's my opinion. This restaurant is better than the other one. It's gonna be our thesis. It expresses our opinion, our own opinion. Hi guys.
Hello, Mustafa.
Yes. Hi. Alaikum assalam. Okay. Once again, guys, for you guys who has joined in, I'm going to summarize what we have said. We are going to summarize what we have said during the during the last 10 minutes. Guys, today we are talking about compare and contrast essay. First of all, we have to know what a comparison is and what a contrast is. When we are comparing two things, two objects, so we are giving the similarities, or we are telling how these are alike. But when we are contrasting, we are giving the information in which they are different. Okay, so this is the contrast. Once again, the comparison, telling how are these similar or how are these alike. But for example, one of your colleagues said both are plants, but both have flowers. That's right. Both live in the jungle or in the woods. That's right.
In Arabic,
In
it's
this
called
slide,
مقارنة, صح?
yes. But you know what? While you are comparing in Arabic, you are just you are telling everything how they are alike and how they are different. In English, it's different because in comparing we are not giving information about how they are different, only how they are alike. But when we are contrasting, we are giving the information how are these different. So don't muddle up while translating into Arabic, saying that the comparison muqarana in Arabic means I'm getting all the points about these topics, how they are alike and how they are different. No, no, it's not that in English. As I told you, comparison means you are getting how they are the points how they are alike. Contrasting, you are giving the points how they are different. So don't muddle up. Because of your Arabic culture. Just a minute. Okay. So once again, something so important while writing down. The first paragraph actually it's not comparing or contrasting. The first paragraph should be an introduction, an introduction to the topic, and the end sentence of the introduction should be the thesis sentence, or at least the sentence before the last one should be what? Thesis statement. Actually, the thesis statement is so important. It may be more important than the topic sentence. The thesis sentence summarizes the main points or claim of an essay. So in this thesis sentence, actually, you are giving your opinion. No problem in this point to use your opinion. So we are writing facts. Examples for this: when this restaurant's spicy chicken sandwich is preferable to Chick-fil a restaurant spicy chicken sandwich. So in here, I've got my point of view, actually, or my opinion, which states that a restaurant is better than another one. So this could be our thesis sentence because it gives our opinion. Democrats and Republicans ultimately want the same thing for our country. This is an opinion, actually. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. So it could be our thesis sentence. Android phones provide better options than iPhones. Well, actually, it's also an opinion. It's not a fact. So it could be a thesis sentence. Vaseline works just as effectively as Carmex to prevent chapped lips. Also, here I'm comparing Vaseline to Carmex, and I'm giving my opinion that Vaseline is better. So it could be a thesis sentence. Fine. Comparison and contrasting essay format and structure. There are two patterns for comparison and contrast essay. One pattern is the point-by-point pattern, and the other pattern is the block pattern. These patterns do not follow the typical 5-paragraph essay structure. The structure actually have 8 paragraphs. Okay. Well, your paragraph, actually, your compare and contrast essay is going to be how many parts? Please count with me. Count. You got the introduction, and after that, the paragraph that holds the similarities, the other one that holds the differences, and the conclusion. So our paragraph, our essay should include four parts. Once again, the introduction that has the topic sentence, has the thesis sentence, and after that, the paragraph that has the similarities, and after that, we got the paragraph that has the differences and the conclusion. So we've got 4 paragraphs in this essay. Well, comparison and contrasting essay. The format for point-by-point pattern. You've got the thesis at the beginning, you've got point 1, point 2, point 3, and the conclusion. We've got some examples for this. For the thesis statement, Android phones provide better options than iPhone. It's my opinion, actually. That's why it can work as a thesis sentence. Point 1, social media sharing options through apps. Point 2, free apps options. Point 3, music listening option. And conclusion, summing up what happens in the essay. Problems to avoid. Avoid comparing and contrasting for no apparent reason. A thesis statement that states there are similarities and differences between the two stories will not engage the reader. The reader will respond, so what? Who cares? To this type of the thesis. This is a small part of your essay. If it works, so it makes your essay very good. If not, your essay is going to fail. Because actually the reader is going to take maybe 99% your opinion. Is going to take your side. So when you fail in this part of the essay, so even though it's small, So the whole essay may get failed. So that's why take care of the thesis statement. Find the purpose that will draw in your reader. For example, the two creation stories both have a forbidden element, is not as engaging as while temptation is usually negative, has long-term positive outcome in both creation stories. Well, I know that it's not easy up till now to get the full idea about the compare and contrast essay. But when we are applying, I'm giving you an example. So you're going to get a clear idea about it. But please, before we see the example, you have um, you have to use the following transitions. Okay, the following words should be used. In comparison, we are using words like also, similarly, to, both, like, have in common, share the same, in the same manner, not only but also. And for contrasting, we are using these words. However, on the other hand, in contrast, unlike, but, nevertheless, instead of, while. Okay, these are keywords to be used in comparing and contrasting essays. So take care of them. Ahmed Abu Ubaida, you wanna ask a question? Go ahead.
What?
You pressed the hand symbol, so that's why
Ah,
it's
sorry,
ask a
probably
question.
by mistake.
Yes, okay. Never mind. Well, my advice for you in this type of essays to use a Venn diagram. What does it look like? It's like this. This is the Venn diagram. Well, as you can see here in this picture, we've got two circles. These are two circles um, have a part in here which is you can find this part in the first circle and in the second one. So this part have the similarities. This part includes the similarities. And the other parts in here includes what? The differences. Guys, I've got two circles, as you can see here. These two circles bisect in a part. So this part could be, you're gonna see it in the first circle and in the second circle, right? Again,
Yes, yes.
yes, great. Two circles bisects in a part. This part is included in the first circle and in the second circle. So this part has similarities because you find them both. Okay, the other parts include the differences. So if you are going to write down any compare and contrast essay, the part of the similarities in here, you're going to write down the objects or the things or the topics they are alike. In the other ones here, you're gonna find the comparison. Sorry, the contrast. The comparison is the similarities. The differences is what? The differences are the contrast. For example, if we are comparing dogs to cats, okay? If you are going to say both are animals, Where are you going to put both are animals on this diagram? Are you going to write down them in differences
In the
or
middle,
in?
similarities.
That's right. In the similarities, in the part that the both circles bisect. Okay, if you are going to write down, for example, uh, dogs are loyal to human beings. Are you going to write down them in similarities or differences?
Differences.
Yes, this is one of the differences. If you are going to write down both are bits, so where can you write down them? Where can you write
Similarities.
down this in the similarities? That's great. So make use of this Venn diagram while writing down compare and contrast essays. This is my advice for you. It's gonna help you a lot. Well, first of all, when you are writing down, you are going to brainstorm. When you are brainstorming, you are getting all the information you need for your essay. You may know some information and you may miss other information. Write down the information you know in the Venn diagram. The information you don't know, try to search for the clues for them. Try to search for this information, maybe in the wiki, I mean the encyclopedia on the internet. We call it wiki. You may check your library, you may ask your teacher, uh, you may ask a professional for this information. So in this step, you are collecting all the information needed for your essay. This is the brainstorming. And after that, you're going to write down a draft. In this essay, don't worry about your mistakes in writing. Don't be panic for the mistakes of the grammar mistakes, the spelling mistakes, the morphology mistake, the uh, orthography mistakes. Don't worry, because in this step, actually, no one is going to read for you. You're going to proofread after that. So in the stage of publishing, people are going to read what you are writing down, but in drafting, nobody's going to read this part. So don't panic. That's okay for mistakes in this step. And after that, we're going to revise. When we are revising, you are going to determine which parts is going to be modified, which words is going to be corrected. So this part actually is so important. After we determine what parts we're going to change, okay, we are going to uh, we're going to proofreading. We're going to read again without any mistakes in editing or proofreading. And the last step, the publication. You're going to publish your work. In this step, you may add something like what, like a picture, like a diagram, like uh, a photo. Right. Well, right now, guys, I'm going to show you the sample I have for you. Here we are comparing and contrasting Riyadh to Dammam. We are comparing and contrasting both cities. So the first paragraph, as I told you before, is going to be an introduction. A city is a place where a large number of population resides for a long period of time. How a city is important depends upon the size, location, and structure of the area. A city can provide different opportunities to know about the culture and language. A city is a good place to continue the further education and to find a suitable job. Here I'm talking in general about cities. I didn't start to show the differences and similarities between Riyadh and Dammam in this paragraph. I'm just giving an introduction. The paragraph that follows is going to hold the similarities. Let's read it. First of all, both Riyadh and Dammam are Saudi cities, so they share the same characteristics. For example, culture. One similarity, Riyadh and Dammam are big cities. Another similarity, they have big number of population. In short, both cities have distinct similarities. The next paragraph holds the differences, which means the contrast. The first difference, Riyadh is an old city, while Dammam is a new one. Another difference, Riyadh is located in the middle region, while Dammam is located on the eastern region. Unlike Riyadh, which is situated in the heart of the desert, Dammam is situated on the Arabian Gulf. Both have different weather conditions. For example, in summer, Riyadh is so hot. On the contrary, the weather is fine in Dammam. Okay, so this is the contrast paragraph. And at last, we are writing down the conclusion. To conclude, comparing and contrasting the two cities based on their history, their culture, their weather, their location, and their residents show how different and similar the two are. So right now, you have seen a lot of the elements we need. We're writing down a compare and contrast essay. I said for the beginning, we have introduction. We've got after this the compare paragraph, which holds the similarities. And after that, we've got the differences paragraph. It holds the different items and the conclusion at last. It's not everything. I use the transition words, I use linking verbs, and you have to take these elements and these linkers into your mind. Here in the similarities, I started with first of all, okay? And after this, I said one similarity and another similarity. And I gave examples. In the third paragraph, you have the first difference. We got the word unlike. We used the word both. We used, for example, we are giving examples in here. Okay. For the conclusion paragraph, at the beginning I used to conclude. Okay. And I summed up what happened in the essay. So simply, this is how to write down a compare and contrast essay. Sorry, I didn't mean that you do nothing in this period actually, because actually your role starts now. Now you are going to write down an essay comparing and contrasting the two stories we had, Fall of the House of Ashur and House Taken Over. Just a minute. Guys, hello?
Yes, sir.
Wake up. Yes, wake up. You start now writing down. It's your turn now to hold your pens, use your blank papers in order to write down an essay. Write a compare and contrast the two selections, the fall of the house of Asher and the house taken over. So you are going to write down the similarities and differences between both selections. For example, we may say, oh, they have the same genre, Gothic literature. Oh, both talk about two houses. Okay. Um, so what? Both have different uh, endings. Like what? One of them, the house collapsed, and the other one, the house was taken by strangers.
And they both have the same narrator or writer.
Oh, okay. The narrator is unknown in both stories. That's right. So it's not to get the point. So please, I'm going to
Mr. Can I write
write
about
down.
another thing, or I have to write about the two stories?
Your homework, you can write down about anything you'd like, but actually, right now we are going to talk about the two selections: the House of Asher and House Taken Over.
Okay.
I've
When we
sent
do
you
it,
the
Mr.
question.
Now or we send it to you later when we finish?
You are supposed to write down now and tell me. We have another 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, we can discuss your draft. That's okay. I'm not gonna ask you for the final copy. I'm going to ask you just for the draft right now. And in your homework, write it down again. And next period, inshallah, we are going to discuss the your essays. So now I want you to hold down your pens and your clean slates, your papers, I mean, and write down. On the meeting chat, I've sent you the topic. Compare and contrast the two selections, the House of Asher, the House Taken Over.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you.
Mr. First, start with compare or contrast.
Well, the essay actually compare and contrast, so both.
Okay.
The first essay is introduction, as I told you. Introduction. The next one is a compare. The third one is contrast. The fourth one is conclusion.
Mister, we go out.
Well, actually, it's time for your break right now. We can have 2 minutes from your break to read what you have written. What do you think of that?
Yes, yes, no problem.
So you go ahead reading what you have written. Hello. If anyone is ready, please tell
Mister,
me.
I still writing. I didn't finish.
You can read what you have written, and let's complete, inshallah, next period.
Alright,
But
Mister, will tell.
yes, well, guys, I just want to tell you something so important before I forget. Tomorrow, inshallah, Thursday, I'm going to once again to make the PCR analysis because my flight to Saudi Arabia is going to be next Friday, the day after tomorrow, I mean. So last time I did the PCR, I didn't get any result. So that's why I put off my flight and I tried to find a good flight. And actually, I couldn't get a good flight for the last 2 weeks. That's why I delayed uh, my flight to next Friday. So once again, guys, tomorrow I'm not gonna be here. I'm not sure 100%, but actually, it's my intention to go tomorrow to make the PCR analysis. In this case, actually, I'll be absent tomorrow, but you're going to find the period recorded and uploaded to the video lectures, so you can make use of the video as if we are in our classroom, like this.
Okay.
You
No problem.
understand? Yes, for all of you, check your video lectures to find tomorrow's video as I'm going to make the PCR tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay, no problem.
Fine, guys. Thank you for this. So, if any one of you have finished, please. We are running out of time, so you can read it. I'm just going to pick a sample. The one is ready. Just tell me.
I only write the post have no name for the narrator. Narrator or only.
Okay.
I still
While we are discussing the fall of the House of Asher and the house taken over, we are discussing two types of literature, which relates to the modern American literature. All the American literature are new ones because you know very well that the history of the United States of America is no more than 100 years. So all the literature we have, all the American literature we have, is modern literature. So you can start an introduction like this, saying, for example, both are modern examples of modern literature. And after that, the similarities. For example, both talks about houses. Both um, what? Both are luxurious houses.
Both are Gothic literature.
Yes, that's right. Both are houses derived from last generations. Both was houses for aristocrats. Got a lot of similarities. In the
Yeah.
paragraph that follow that, you are giving the points in which they are different. Saying, for example, the house fall over was in a bad shape. It was about to collapse, but the other one in house taken over It was a luxurious one. It was in a good state. It was in a good shape.
Yes, mister. Can we finish 5 minutes from the break?
That's okay. So write down your essay and let's discuss this. Discuss it next time, inshallah. We meet. Could be next Sunday. So see you on Sunday.
See you later. Good night.
Yes. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.